Hey there folks, this is the Outdoor Gear Review. My name is Luke, and today I'm doing a preview of the Outback Swag Pioneer Swag tent. Now as you guys can see here, this is not a tent for backpacking by any means, but what it offers is definitely unique. Go ahead and get comfortable. Let's take a look at it now. As you can see here, the Outback Swag Pioneer Swag tent comes with this handy carry case, and you will definitely need it because this tent is huge. Now with swag tents, they originated in Australia. They're extremely popular and have been for a very long time. A long time ago, these type of tents would be carried by men who were traveling for work in between towns and so on. Essentially what it is a canvas bedroll. It's a tent with a bedding all rolled up into one. And this would be carried with their belongings inside of this roll. These sort of nomadic workers were referred to as swagmen, and that is where the tent got its name from. The swag tent. The tent here that I am setting up is a more modern design of the swag tent. It is a very common design. This is still a very popular tent in Australia, and it's used for off-roading, camping, fishing, hunting, and so on. You're definitely not going to carry this anywhere. You are going to throw this inside of your vehicle and hit the road. So as you can see here, it's all set up now. Might as well hit upon some stats real quick. The material is a heavy-duty and waterproof 12-ounce ripstop canvas. It's very thick, very strong, very durable. When it comes to the measurements, you are looking at 7 feet by 3 feet, and it has a height of 31 inches. The floor is a PVC vinyl flooring with a bathtub construction, waterproof of course. The poles are aluminum, and there are 3 of them. As you can see here with the material that's sticking out on the side, this is made from PVC vinyl. That is there so you have a place to put your shoes. It is essentially a shoe mat. When it comes to the weight, you are looking at 20 pounds, which includes the mattress, and that's correct. On the inside, there is a mattress to this system. And that mattress offers you 2 inches of cushion. It is an egg crate style foam with a washable cover. So we have gone over some stats, we've done a 360, we've checked it out some. Let's get into the finer details. Let's really show this thing off. Now, as you saw there, you have this top cover, which you can roll back if you don't need it. So if you're out in a dry environment, like a desert or something like that, you can roll it back and enjoy the stars. That is very, very cool. I will go ahead and roll that back for you guys, just so you can see that in action. So right here, you have a flap which covers this flap right here, as you can see. So your zippers are fully protected from the rain and from the snow. You have 2-way zippers. Very good quality. So as you can see there, you can roll that back, exposing the bug mesh on the inside. Now this is the front of the tent. You can of course go in from the top, or you can go in from right here. You have this canvas flap which goes over the front. The zippers have a flap which protect them as well. So everything is fully waterproof, fully protected. Of course, the mesh can be zipped back as well, if that is something that you want to do. On the inside of the mesh, you can see here that you have this piece of Velcro that attaches to the pole to make it more secure. For the sake of setting this up, I haven't done that. Of course, going in from this angle makes everything nice and easy. And with this being 7 foot long, 3 feet wide, this could fit just about anybody. Oh my gosh. The bedding here is unbelievably comfortable. I mean, it really is. It's amazing. Super, super comfortable. It should be mentioned here that on the inside of the mesh, there's a loop so you can slide the pole through that. So if you're in a really windy situation, maybe it's winter, this thing will be nicely hunkered down. Very, very tight. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Of course, when it's all zipped up, it's much tighter. But let's see, you have a pocket here on the left side. It's also divided, so you could fit quite a bit of gear inside of there. You have another pocket on this side. It's mesh. Maybe you want to stick your phone in there, whatever. Okay, now going up, let's see, right here, you have a loop. You can put your keys on this if you want to. Maybe you want to dangle a light. Can I sit up in this? No, I can't. I cannot sit up in it. 31 inches high. You know, it's not super tight. There's definitely enough room here where you could change clothes and do all that sort of stuff. I mean, this really is more of a bivvy tent, in my opinion. It's a hybrid of sorts. You're definitely not going to be able to sit up and change clothes, but as I mentioned, you know, 3 feet wide, there's plenty of room here to put on clothes, take off clothes, do whatever you want to. This is a one-person tent. If both individuals are small, you could definitely make it work. I've been able to stick my pack inside of here, use that as my pillow, plenty of room, no issues. I will go ahead and close the door, which is not easy to do, of course, one-handed. As you can see there is a nice mesh window. So with this tent, you can have tons of ventilation. You can see the flooring here, PVC. Very good stitching on this tent too. Waterproof, of course. Now, as you can see there, you have the 3 poles. You have one larger pole at the top, smaller pole at the middle, and then you have the smallest pole at the very end. Now, this is not a freestanding tent, which means you do have to stake it out. You do have to pull it out nice and tight. You can use this as a bivvy if you want to, but I tell you what, it's so nice having that much space. I always stake it out, pull it out tight. Now, of course, my friends, we have to talk about the bedding here, the mattress, because this really is an impressive part to this system here. 2 inches egg crate foam mattress. I have to be honest, this has provided some of the best nights of sleep I've ever had out in the woods. It truly is comfortable. It really is awesome. I tell you what, in general, sleeping out with this tent has been very, very nice. I've had no complaints at all. Now, this is a preview. This is not a review. And that is because I haven't been able to fully test out this tent yet. The sad fact is that we haven't had any moisture here in these mountains for about 3 months now, 2-3 months. Everything is just bone dry. So I haven't been able to get this tent out in any rain. I haven't been able to use it in the snow yet. So I really can't say how well it performs in regards to weather. So yeah, hopefully that will change and I will be able to finish up this review. So in the future, a review is coming for this tent. But for now, we can only say it's a preview because I'm not ready to pass judgment on it yet because I haven't been able to fully test it out yet. What I can say though, is that I really like this thing. This thing really is cool. It has some really cool features. And again, the mattress is just awesome. It is incredibly awesome. This cover here, you can take it off and you can wash it. This is the foam on the inside here. Let's talk about my nights out with this tent here. I have used this roughly 4 times already. And like I said, I've enjoyed it every single time. It really has performed well. Very little moisture building up on the inside, even on the coldest of mornings. Speaking of which, 26 degrees is about as low as I've pushed this tent so far. I've woken up with it covered in ice from heavy freezing dew. No issues at all. Also, with it being down to 26 degrees, I didn't notice the mattress having any issues. I think if you want to really push this down into the teens, into the single digits, you may want to have a secondary foam pad underneath this one to kind of block out the cold. Of course, that is something that I will test out into the future. Now, with one trip out with this tent, we came out here to Lone Wolf Mountain, and I brought my son and his friend, and I was teaching them some firearm safety. We were doing some target practicing and so on, some bushcraft skills, and we had this donkey come in, and he was hanging out with us here on the property. Eventually, I found his owner. I'll tell that story later. It's great. But yeah, I'm sleeping away. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden, a donkey head comes pushing right into the side of my tent. Push! It's just checking things out, and I'm on the inside, and I take his face, and I push him out, and I'm like, get out of here, donkey! And I hear him shuffle on by, eating grass. That was awesome. Anyway, that's just a small little story there that I experienced while using this tent. But yeah, overall, it's very, very easy to set up. You really can throw this thing up very, very quickly. I like the fact that you can get in it from both angles, from the front, from the top. The mattress, again, is awesome. It is awesome. One of the best nights of sleep on any mattress I've ever used in the outdoors. The fact that you don't have to cover this up, say if you live in a dry environment, you want to watch the stars, you can. Incredibly cool. One thing I've done, we haven't had any rain, but in the morning the dew is still very thick. I'll just leave it uncovered for a few hours while I'm laying in this, so I can stare at the stars before I go to sleep, and then before I do fall asleep, I'll cover myself up. The quality is terrific. I've had no issues when it comes to quality at all. The cons are price, weight, and size. we'll start with size. This thing is a monster. You saw that pack there. It's essentially the size of like a military-style duffel bag, absolutely stuffed to the brim. 20 pounds. This thing is not lightweight. You will not take this thing backpacking. You will throw this essentially inside of your car. I've heard some people say that they take these on their motorcycles, and I just don't see how that's possible. Maybe you can compress this thing small enough to get it onto a motorcycle. I'm not sure, but maybe with like the mattress on one side and the tent on the other, maybe. I don't know. But for me personally, that is not an aspect which I would use this for. Definitely for car camping, you know, for hunting. Say if you want to come out to your land, to some property that you lease or something, you could easily throw this in the back of your car, set up your hunting camp. Oh yeah, it'd work really well for that. The last negative aspect is price. On the Outback Swag's website, this runs $350. Now, I really like this product so far with my testing, but $350 is extreme. For me personally, I would like the price to be around $250, $275 for this tent. I've seen other companies out there who make almost exactly the same tent for roughly $250, $275. I think the quality is good enough that if you wanted to say $300, I could see doing that, you know, if you really want something like this, but no more than that. Again, going back to the sweet spot as far as I'm concerned, $250, $275. I have seen these style of tents before, and this is actually the first one that I've gotten my hands on. There's a company named Kodiak. They make a version of this which it looks to be exactly the same. There's also another company out there, which I believe they're called Strong Camel. I'm sure there are some variations, but as far as the looks go, almost virtually the same. The price ranges for the swag tents in general, even with all the different companies out there, is $250 all the way up to $300. That is essentially the going rate. So like I said before, we had those three negative elements: the price, the weight, and the size. One thing that I'm excited to test out with this tent is snow and winter weather. I'm really interested to see just how well it can handle some snow loading. I know this is not built to be a 4-season snow load tent, but I just want to see how it can handle just a few inches. I think it'll do very, very well. By the way, when it comes to the stakes, you get 8 of these. Very good quality stakes. Work just fine. You get 2 guy lines as well. With this here, I look at this as a heavy-duty bivvy, more so than a tent. Very, very strong. The canvas material here and all the quality here is just excellent. I see it really as an excellent choice for people who want to be able to throw up their tent anywhere they want to. They throw it inside of their vehicle, they drive someplace, set up camp. I see it being a really good solution for hunters, right? You throw this on the back of your ATV, you head up into the high mountains to do some hunting. Again, that's an excellent solution. So folks, that is my preview of the Pioneer Swag tent from Outback Swags. So far, I really like it. The review is coming up once the weather conditions change a little bit and I'm able to really test it out in some bad conditions. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do. Until next time, strength and honor, be well.